Okay, let's talk about something that affects almost every single working Australian: superannuation. For so many of us, it's just this big, confusing puzzle. But today, we're going to dive into how some really smart technology is starting to change all that, turning that confusion into actual control.
You know that feeling, right? You open your super statement, and it's like you're trying to read a different language. It's just a wall of jargon and numbers, and if you've ever felt completely lost looking at it, trust me, you are so not alone. It's that exact feeling that makes a lot of us just switch off from our own retirement savings.
And that really gets to the heart of this whole superannuation puzzle. We're hit with these huge, really important questions, like how am I even supposed to be investing this money? Are the fees I'm paying actually fair? And of course, the biggest question of them all, am I really going to have enough to live on when I finally retire?
I mean, it's supposed to be our nest egg for the future, but for a lot of people, it just feels like this giant, overwhelming task. But the good news is, there's a pretty major change happening right now that's promising to give us both some much-needed clarity and a bit of confidence, too.
And that change, well, it's the arrival of what you can think of as an AI co-pilot. Now, don't let the term artificial intelligence throw you. This isn't some crazy, futuristic sci-fi thing. Just think of it as a smart, helpful partner that's designed to help you navigate your own financial future.
So, what does that actually mean for your super? Well, it means using your own data to get clear, simple insights. The AI does all the heavy lifting, all the complicated math and the endless comparisons, so you can just focus on making smarter choices for your future.
Okay, and let's be absolutely crystal clear about what this AI is not for. This is not about gambling with your retirement savings. It's not making risky, speculative day trades. No way. This is all about stability, long-term strategy, and making smart plans based on actual data.
So, how does this AI copilot actually help you day to day? Let's kind of open up the hood and look at the toolkit it gives you, piece by piece.
So your AI copilot basically gives you this 4-part toolkit. It helps create a portfolio mix that's just for you. It shows you what your future balance might look like. It digs into all those fees, and it finds clever ways for you to contribute more. Let's break each of those down.
All right, first up is personalization. You see, most of us get put into a default investment option when we start a job. It's a one-size-fits-all approach. But your life isn't one-size-fits-all, right? AI can look at things like your age, how comfortable you are with risk, and where you are in your career, and then suggest an investment mix that's actually built for you.
And this shows you the difference perfectly. On one side, you've got that standard generic option that everyone gets. But on the other, you've got a strategy that's actually built around your life. So if you're young, maybe it suggests a higher growth strategy. If you're getting closer to retirement, it may shift to something more conservative and stable. It just makes sense.
Okay, next up, forecasting. Now, this is where that AI copilot starts to feel like a superpower. It takes your current balance, your contributions, market data, and it projects what your super balance could actually be when you retire. All of a sudden, the future stops being this vague idea and starts feeling a whole lot more real.
And this is where you can start to play. You can ask those what-if questions that have always been in the back of your mind. What if I put a little more in from my salary? What if I could just find an extra $50 a week to contribute? An AI tool can show you the long-term impact of that, instantly.
And just look at the impact. It is staggering. That small, consistent change, just $50 a week, can add up to tens, even hundreds of thousands of extra dollars by the time you retire. That's the incredible power of compounding interest. And what AI does is make that invisible power visible.
All right, tool number 3. This is a big one. Fees. Fees are tricky. They're often buried in the fine print, and they just quietly eat away at your savings year after year. AI can scan everything, compare your fund to others, and shine a big, bright spotlight on exactly what you're paying.
It's amazing how a tiny difference in fees can have such a huge impact. I mean, we're talking about a fraction of a percent here. It seems like nothing, right? But look, over a lifetime, this comparison shows it could mean the difference of tens of thousands of dollars in your pocket at retirement. AI just lays it all out so you can see if you're getting a good deal.
And finally, the 4th tool. This is like having your own proactive financial assistant. The AI doesn't just sit there. It actively looks for opportunities to help you boost your super.
So it can spot these really specific, actionable things. For instance, it might figure out the perfect amount for you to salary sacrifice to get the best tax benefit. Or it'll send you an alert if you're eligible for a government co-contribution, which is literally the government giving you free money for your retirement. These are exactly the kind of opportunities so many of us just miss out on.
But with all this incredible tech, you have to ask the question, where does a human expert fit into all this? And this is a really, really crucial piece of the puzzle.
And this right here is the key. The AI is the tool. It is not the final decision maker. It gives you the clear data, it gives you the insights, but a human advisor, they offer the wisdom, the empathy, and the personal guidance that a machine just can't, especially when you're dealing with big life moments.
So for any of those really big financial decisions, the expertise of a qualified professional is absolutely irreplaceable. The real difference is that with these AI tools, you can walk into that meeting armed with way better information, asking much smarter questions, and feeling a whole lot more confident.
So, ultimately, what AI is doing is putting the power of your own financial data back where it belongs, in your hands. It's taking that confusing puzzle of superannuation and turning it into a clear, simple dashboard. So the only real question left is, now that you have the tools, are you ready to take the controls?